A common misconception or misunderstanding in the world of health and nutrition is the idea of weight loss and fat loss. These terms are used interchangeably, but in reality, there can be a pretty big difference on how you'll want to approach each of these as a goal. So if you're talking about weight loss, it's very non-specific. You can lose weight by losing fat, by losing muscle. You could lose an organ. You could cut off a limb and you're going to lose weight. Fat loss, on the other hand, is much more specific, and that's stating what you're trying to lose during this whole process. So if your goal is strictly weight loss and all you're trying to do is get to a weight on the scale, the way you're going to want to go about that is decrease your calories, increase the calories that you're burning. So decrease calories in, increase the calories out. And typically cardio is going to be the best way, just to burn a bunch of calories to create that caloric deficit, and you're going to lose weight. The problem comes in that you're not taking into account your metabolism or your muscle mass. And so you may be losing weight, but you're also losing quite a bit of muscle mass in the process. And so what happens is your metabolism starts to slow down, and it can slow down so much to a point that you just can't maintain that body weight anymore, because it takes so few calories just to maintain your weight that it becomes pretty much impossible to maintain that. And then your body starts to fight back, and your body starts to gain some weight back. And you may even get back to where you started, or possibly even beyond where you started. But it gets even worse because you're back to where you started, but you also have a slower metabolism. So you require fewer calories just to maintain the weight that you were at before you even started this whole journey. And that's what gets people really frustrated. You get on this yo-yo cycle with your diet. You're going up and down, and it just sucks because you feel like you're stuck in this cycle and there's no way out of it. So the alternative approach is to focus more specifically on fat loss. And the way to go about that is you still need to create a caloric deficit. So you're going to need to eat less. You want to be careful not to go too crazy with that, though, because if you create too big of a caloric deficit, your body's going to fight back. It's going to start to resist, and that's not what we want here. We want to be working with our bodies, not against our bodies. So you're going to decrease the calories in, but at the same time, you need to make sure your protein intake stays high, relatively high, and that's going to be different for everybody depending on body size, activity level, how much you were eating before. But anyway, lowering calories overall, but increasing protein intake or maintaining a higher level of protein intake. So that's what you want on the nutrition side of it. On the workout side of it, you can potentially do some cardio. Cardio is not going to be bad for you, but you don't want to overdo it. You want to emphasize strength training. Strength training is going to do the most to maintain your muscle mass or potentially even increase some muscle mass. So that combination of adequate protein or higher protein intake with the resistance training that you're doing or the strength training that you're doing is going to help make sure that even though you're losing weight, you're losing that weight mostly from fat, and you're maintaining a healthy level of muscle mass, which means you're maintaining a healthier metabolism. So in conclusion, it's really important to be specific about what you're trying to achieve. And if you're just trying to go for weight loss, you might want to reevaluate that goal or think a little more specifically about what those long-term effects are going to be and how likely you are going to be able to maintain that. So even if the approach of fat loss might be a little bit slower path in the long run, it can end up being a lot less frustrating and can be a lot better in setting you up for long-term success, because you're going to keep a healthier metabolism and you're going to be making sure that you're losing fat rather than losing muscle. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Always happy to help out. Thanks for listening.